So before and after prison, can we say that?
Sure.
Okay. So did you make that change on your own, or did someone help you along the way?
Good question. I think the change occurred before prison and then was reinforced tremendously in prison, and especially when I wrote the book. So I got sober in 1997. So before 1997, I was a fucking wild man. You know, I was doing drugs all the time, partying like a rock star, doing things, and just like, you know, honestly, you start off and 95% of what I did was perfectly legal. It was this little 5%, but that's 5% is illegal, and that's enough, right? I'm not trying to minimize what I did, but most of what I did was, you know, the vast majority, 95%, maybe even more, was legal. It wasn't like Bernie Madoff or one of these where they're just taking the money. This was like a legitimate firm taking companies public. We just were manipulating stock in this one moment, and that's enough.
Just a little bit.
I don't want to, but I'm not. But again, I don't want to minimize. This is illegal. But I will say everyone else was doing it too at the big firms as well, and they all got in trouble in 2008 for doing the same shit and dog shit mortgages, same shit they were doing. Yeah, of course, but. Again, that doesn't make what I did any less bad. I'm just saying that it wasn't just me alone, but I got in trouble and I got what I deserved, right? And but I got sober in 97, and that was before I got indicted. And once I got sober, I was like, oh my God, like this is, you know. So it started then. And then when I got indicted, it was like everything, you know, it was like, you know, life is completely, you know, turned upside down, upheaval, right? Lost everything, divorced, my wife left, everything, you know? And I think what happens with people, like, you know, when you have values, and then, you know, how does a person change their values, right? And it's very, very rare that someone just changes their values just because they want to change their values. Usually people change their values when something fucking really bad happens, and you're like, whoa, well, this strategy ain't working. I need to change. Like you're saying, well, that didn't work very well. Like, I think I got it wrong. And then it becomes very easy. If you're smart and if you're an honest person and you're going to get honest with yourself, you're going to say, well, oh shit, that, you know, that strategy is not so good because it ended here. I need to re-examine, you know, the values I had. And frankly, I was raised well. I never broke the law before or after. So it was really getting back to the person I was before it started. So it wasn't that difficult once I started on that path. And then when I went to jail and started writing the book, and the book was like almost like therapy. It's like when I wrote this book so intensely about my inner thoughts, what I was thinking, why I was doing the things I was doing. And I think that really gave me a great insight into myself. And